I decided to document what has been going on in my life lately, more so probably so I can go back and look at these videos and see how much progress I'm making doing the things that I'm trying to do to accomplish certain goals. As most of you know, I've been in the fitness industry for well over 30 years. And I've been a big proponent of fitness is medicine. And I hate to admit it, but I have let that go over the last year and a half to 3 years. And a catalyst for a lot of this was my divorce. I still feel a lot of loneliness and wondering if I'm ever going to find another partner again so I can experience happiness again. But that's not why I'm making this video. The reason I'm making this video is because my physical conditions have deteriorated to the point where it's become life or death. And frankly, I'm not ready to phone it in yet. I'm not ready to die. I want to live and I want to be happy. So last week on the 1st of March, I had a doctor's appointment with my regular doctor who I see every 3 months. And the reason I see her every 3 months is because I have a disorder called factor V Leiden, which makes me about 10 times more likely to get blood clots. It's been well controlled because I take Xarelto, which I have been taking for many, many years. And it has been a game changer for me because it has really allowed me to live the way I want to, up until probably a year ago when I just kind of lost motivation for everything health related. And because I have been healthy and fit for so long, I guess I just didn't think it would be such a radical change in my overall fitness and health. So as a result of my doctor's appointment, I had my lab work done, and they did a lot of blood testing, a urinalysis. And while historically my family has high cholesterol, a little bit of high blood pressure, it's been pretty well controlled most of my adult life. Until recently. My blood pressure is still well controlled through medication. My blood thinning issues are still well controlled with the Xarelto. But my cholesterol has skyrocketed. Well, I wouldn't say skyrocketed. It's up to 247, and my ratio is bad as well, where I used to be in the 220s and maybe a little below, but my ratio was considered okay for me to live with that elevated cholesterol. So I've started having to take cholesterol medication. Well, my triglycerides came back and they were not even measurable, but they were over 1,000, which is extremely high. They did an A1C test on me, and it came out to 6.6, which means I'm actually in type 2 diabetes now, which was a complete shock to me. So I've been really not working since last August when I was injured at work, and so I've been on a workers' comp issue on my right knee, which I just had surgery on February 13th, I believe. Well, that knee issue is really doing well. I feel it's resolved. But my other knee, which was not officially injured at work, although I believe it kind of happened the same time as my other one, I just didn't realize it because it didn't hurt as bad. But that one is really bothering me, and I may have to have surgery on that eventually. I think it is also just a meniscus issue, so it shouldn't be too bad. The biggest problem I've had over the last year is the fact that I have been gaining a lot of weight. And a good weight for me is anywhere between 198 to 202 pounds. That's where I felt best when I was working out, doing jiu-jitsu, and just outdoor activities like hiking and camping, backpacking, all that kind of stuff. Well, in the last year, and it just pains me to say it, but last Monday, when I decided to start on this journey, after I got my test results from my blood, I was 262 pounds, which is just disgusting to me. 262 pounds. So in essence, I'm 60 pounds overweight. I'm, technically an obese person right now. I worked my whole life in the fitness industry to help people get better from some of the side effects of obesity and unhealthy habits. And here I am. Now I'm like the poster boy for unhealthy. So not only did I find out I'm in type 2 diabetes, I also have diminished kidney and liver function. And I never thought I would, have any of these issues, but here I am. So when I got my results on Monday, on March 1st, yes, Monday, I started doing some reading and some research and trying to figure out ways of changing my lifestyle back to what it used to be, and also get down to my ideal weight, because I would really like to get back to doing things outdoors. I haven't trained jiu-jitsu for a long time because I've had a lot of neuropathy from a spinal cord problem in my cervical spine I had in March of 2020. I had cervical myelopathy, and the nerve injuries because of the pinch in my spinal cord were fairly significant, but a lot of it has resolved, and I think I'm about 80% of my peak, and I think that's the best that's ever going to be. It's just nerve damage. So I'm trying to get back to have a healthy life, an active life, and find joy in my life, just in my own personal space, before I could actually ever really share any happiness or find happiness with possibly another partner in my life. It's not at the top of my list as far as goals are. My number one goal is to improve my health, get back in shape, and regain some self-respect for myself, and stop being a hypocrite. So I've also re-engaged in my spiritual life, which also has been zero since probably a year, maybe 2 years before my actual moving out of my house and separation from my ex-wife. So it's been quite a while since I've had any kind of spiritual walk with God. So as this all happened, it just happened to be the season of Lent. I am Catholic, so I'm re-engaging with my faith. So I started some Lenten practices. I'm doing some reflections every day, some prayer, following a Lenten guideline, so I can start getting myself back spiritually as well as mentally, physically, emotionally. I have a lot of work to do. I understand that. But I got to do the work. I don't know what my body in a healthy state is capable of doing as far as how long can I live. But I have decided that I want to live. And I want a good quality of life. I'm miserable right now. I hate to admit it, but sometimes when I'm by myself, I actually weep. And sometimes It makes me feel ashamed of where I am right now. So what I'm going to try to do is take people on this journey with me, and hopefully maybe I can motivate somebody to straighten back their life or take back control of their life and be able to get back to having a healthy and happy life. And that is my goal. I want to, re-engage, hopefully again, with my two daughters who have really not spoken with me since this whole divorce thing took place. And probably they assign a lot of the blame for the problems to me. And in some ways, I have to accept a lot of that blame because I lost my way as the spiritual leader of my family. I lost my faith along the way. And Michelle and the girls also lost their faith. So none of us were practicing Catholics for a long time. And Michelle and the girls are still, as far as I know, they're not practicing Catholic. I haven't spoken with Michelle since last May, and I can't tell you the last time I have spoken with my daughters. That's one of the things that makes me saddest, is that I don't have a relationship with them. And I tried so hard while they were growing up to be a good dad and provide happiness and comfort in our home. And frankly, I just can't completely understand why it all fell apart. So I'm trying to work on my issues and myself and stop playing the blame game as far as, these things outside of myself are affected where I am today. When in reality, I am where I am today because of who I became when I embraced unhealthy lifestyle choices, as well as making myself more injured emotionally and mentally than I should have. I should have worked on these things right when all these things happened, but I didn't. So here I am, and I'm documenting this thing because I want to see my progress. And hopefully I'm going to share this. And like I said, somebody will have some words of encouragement for me. Somebody will also be able to use this as a motivation for themselves to get back into a better place in all the realms of your life. So since I started on the 1st, I changed my diet. I've made some drastic changes in my eating habit and the scheduling. I'm back to intermittent fasting, but I'm also using some tips that I researched and found out to help me lower my A1C, get my blood sugar under control, my triglycerides, and deal with my repressed anger and depression over being alone. So I'm starting to find some joy through my activities here in Lent, reading scripture and re-engaging not only with the church, but with Jesus. And hopefully that I am on this journey, I will stay committed, and I'm going to try to do these videos so I can call myself out if I'm not. So like I said, on March 1st, I was 262 pounds. And since then, since I've changed my diet, this morning I weighed myself, I was down to 250 pounds. So I'm 12 pounds lighter in 9 days. And the diet I started, they said you could lose weight fairly quickly on this diet, and it's not cutting calories or anything like that. It's adding things in that will help your body shed fat. And to my surprise, it has really worked. So I'm very happy that I'm at 250 pounds today, although I'm still, consider myself 50 pounds over what I want to be. But I'm on the way, and I'm feeling good about it, and I don't know what else to say except for thank you for watching my video if you watched the whole thing. And please offer me words of encouragement. And if you want to be negative, that's fine too. As a former athlete, and I would consider myself a high-level martial artist, as I do have a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Criticism comes with the territory, so whatever you want to say. I can deal with it. But anyway, thank you again for listening, and I will check in again in a few days. Thank you.